Alexei Navalny broke his silence from Russian prison, describing 24/7 surveillance and being woken up every hour.
Here's a summary of the article.
Alexei Navalny has for the first time revealed details about his life in Russian prison, reporting 24/7 surveillance and likening it to a concentration camp. Navalny, the chief domestic critic of President Vladimir Putin, began a 30-month stint in prison after being sentenced on February 2 for missing parole meetings while abroad. The activist had been receiving specialist medical care in Berlin after being poisoned with the Novichok nerve agent in August, for which he has blamed Putin. Navalny's whereabouts after his sentencing were unknown until Russian authorities announced on February 28 that they had sent Navalny to Penal Colony No. 2 in the Vladimir region of Russia, east of Moscow. Navalny had not been heard from until Monday, when he broke his silence on Instagram and described his situation. Navalny said that at night he was woken up every hour by a prison guard holding a video camera, checking that he had not escaped. Navalny said in his Instagram post that he had yet to see violence between guards and prisoners but believed reports of mistreatment given what he described as the tense posture of the convicts. Thousands of people have been arrested, including Navalny's wife, Yulia Navalnaya.
This post received a score of 79,000, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
After a long radio silence, it's pretty relieving to hear that Navalny is still alive, and I'm also kind of surprised that he's still allowed to post to Instagram while in prison under constant surveillance.
How are you allowed on Instagram in prison?
He's only allowed to communicate through his lawyers, who probably have control of his account. Anyone else amazed that he's been found? I figured Putin would just disappear him.
If he just disappeared, he'd be a martyr. Better to make him suffer and so he becomes incapable, deteriorates.
No matter which way he dies, he will be a martyr, IMO.
Which is precisely why he's still alive. Putin doesn't want to kill him until he can find a way to do so that won't turn him into a martyr.
The longer he stays alive, the more chance he has of being forgotten.
So, torture.
As expected, Putin staying true to form. Tortured to death, he knew that would be the case and he still went back.
I watched a documentary about a prison in Russia that removed the death sentence. I was like, wow, that's an improvement. Instead they are locked in a cell 23 hours a day, barely big enough for a bed and a little strip beside the bed. They aren't allowed to sit or lay down during waking hours, so they just pace back and forth all day like animals. Cruel is an understatement. If I remember correctly, an inmate said 1/3 people will go insane. I watched that too. They spoke about the guys who were due to be sentenced to death then being told that they would be there for the rest of their lives, committed suicide somehow. Can't imagine pacing a strip of room for hours on end for life.
Been in solitary for months in US and the only things that keep you sane are yelling under the door or through the flap to the other guys on your tier and reading. Where I was at though, they would oftentimes just give you a random book from a pile if you asked for something to read, and it would oftentimes be legitimately unenjoyable if it was even still legible after years of abuse with fluid damage and a lot of missing pages. You get handcuffed through the flap and let out of your handcuffs through a flap in the outside the rake door. Some cells have a shower in the back of the cell so you can shower whenever you want, but other units have showers separately in the building, so you walk handcuffed holding your soap and shit behind your back and then get let out of the cuffs through a flap in the shower door.
Fuck, that sucks, man. I gotta ask, what got you in that situation? Jail and then solitary? It's cool if you don't want to talk about it. I feel for you, man.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.